By Alex Magiza. Political carnage at Zororo Ground. 1. It must have a very difficult and anxious morning from Dougie as he waited for the Star Rally at Zororo Grounds on Saturday. To appreciate the challenge and the associated anxiety, you must know how these events are planned. It's a huge logistical operation. 2. Star Rally Day starts early for everyone. There will be a team at the venue preparing the stage, pitching the tents and generally ensuring that everything is in place. There will be a team led by the party organizer mobilizing the crowds. Their job is to ensure a good turnout. 3. These teams on the ground will be liaising with the leader's team at home or at the hotel, advising them on progress and when to arrive. The golden rule is that the leader must arrive to a rousing welcome, and that can only happen if there's a large crowd. 4. It's very easy when things are going well at the venue. Things going well essentially means the crowd is big. But when the crowd is thin on the ground, things get really hard. How do you call the leader to come when it's so bad? These are anxious moments for all. 5. Just to be sure, the president will have his own advance team which will scan the situation at the venue. If the uptake is slow, teams will make more impromptu road shows and door-to-door calls in the area to boost the crowd. 6. But the clock will be ticking, so it's a race against time. The protocol is that the leader's subordinates arrive first. Then the leader is told it's time to come. If the crowd is large, he makes a grand entrance. But if it's small, his confidence suffers. 7. Big crowds boost the politician's ego while small crowds are a heavy blow. Dougie would have been keen to make a big impression this weekend. After all, it was his first serious public event since he took over in 2020. He has had an easy rally-free ride. 8. Therefore all morning his teams must have been updating him on progress at Zororo, when clearly there was none. Some of these chaps don't tell the truth. They will say Zviri kuita pain van humdara, it's looking good, we have a good crowd Mr. President. Lying. 9. When he left his home for Zororo Grounds, it would have been one of the most difficult trips, knowing things were falling apart and the whole world was watching and he was about to be exposed. You put a brave face, as politicians often do, and blurt out the ridiculous. 10. That's why Mkama's estimate of a 5,000-strong crowd came out so naturally when he spoke to the media. It was as ridiculous as it sounded. It was a self-comforting overestimation by a man who knew his goose was well and truly cooked. There was no place to hide. I know he is suffering right now, because if the embarrassment of the sparse crowd at Zororo Ground. No leader enjoys that kind of situation, let alone one making a claim as a serious political player. 11. I said when he was reveling in the contrived court victories that the true test was in the court of public opinion. There, it wasn't hand-picked judges who would pronounce judgment, no. It was the people. And the scene at Zororo Grounds is just a taste of things to come. 12. I said a few weeks ago that we were witnessing the administration of the last rites for the MDCT, and that Monsura would have the dubious distinction of carrying the once mighty party into the grave. It's apposite that the rally was at Zororo Grounds, the place of rest. 13. It's one thing to tell untruths to the world in order to look good. It is different and far worse when you begin to believe in your own lies. One is tempted to feel sorry for Mkama. But Mkama refused to listen when it was clear to all and sundry that he was on a slippery slope to nowhere. It was a tough day at the office, but worse will follow. Wah, Magiza,